Domestic violence has no boundaries or barriers. It can affect anyone, regardless of their age, race, gender, or sexual orientation.
So this morning, Zach Lasway is with us looking at how domestic violence impacts same-sex couples. Zach, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yes, as we know, much of the domestic violence awareness movement focuses on heterosexual relationships. Members of the LGBTQ community say they do not feel seen or heard. Research from the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence shows members of the LGBTQ community fall victim to domestic violence at equal or even higher rates compared to their heterosexual counterparts. Nearly 42% of lesbian women and 61% of bisexual women have experienced rape, physical violence, and/or stalking by an intimate partner, as opposed to 35% of their heterosexual women counterparts. 26% of gay men and 37% of bisexual men have been victimized, in comparison to 29% of heterosexual men. Experts say fewer gay men report domestic violence and reach out for help.
I felt like a bunch of people couldn't intervene in between that because they seen it as, they kind of just respected it as two different males. You don't come in between two guys. And instead of like actually seeing it as a relationship, regardless of, you know, sexual orientation or gender or anything like that, it's domestic violence.
There is Michael Gutierrez. He is a survivor of domestic abuse. Michael identifies as a gay man. Tonight at 10, we will share his story of intimate partner abuse in hopes it will help you. We'll also hear from an anti-violence program specialist to chat about resources for members of the LGBTQ community who are impacted by domestic violence, maybe those who are looking to get out of situations like that.
And that's the biggest thing. That's what we're trying to do, is that anybody who's listening, maybe their story will resonate, you know, and they'll say, okay, they got out, they got help, I can too.
Regardless of who they are, what they look like, there are resources available to you.
Thank you, Zach. Yeah.